Moving on to our next topic, that is nervous system in case of animals. Nervous system in case of animals. So animals are multicellular organisms. No? In case of animals, control and coordination are provided by nervous tissue and muscular tissue. Control and coordination is brought by nervous tissues and muscular tissues. So actually, our nervous system contains nearly 10 billions of cells which were called as nerve cells. This is the nerve cell. So our nervous system contains nearly 10 billions of cells. Those cells are called as nerve cells, or it is also called as a neuron. First of all, we will learn the structure of nerve cell briefly. This is the structure of a nerve cell. Okay, so this has four parts. First, this center part is called as cell body or cytone, which contains a nucleus and nissl granules. This is called as a synthetic site for the neuron. Why? Because all the decisions, all the things which could be done in the nerve cell will be prepared in this cytone. Next, the short branches arising from the cytone are called as dendrites, and the long branch arising from it is called as axon. This axon is covered with a myelin sheath, proteinaceous sheath, myelin sheath, okay, to prevent the leakage of information. Okay, information while it is passing through the axon, there is a chance of leakage of information. So in order to prevent it, it is covered with a proteinaceous sheath called as a myelin sheath. And at the end of the axon, it has nerve terminals or nerve endings. Nerve terminals or nerve endings. These nerve terminals are in connection with the second nerve cell. Actually, all these nerve cells are interconnected with each other. There are connections between nerve cells. So the nerve terminals of one nerve cell will be in contact with the dendrites of other nerve cell. Okay, then only they can transfer information without any interruptions. Okay, so this connection is called as synapse. Actually, the connection between two neurons is called as synapse. The connection between the nerve terminals of one nerve cell and the dendrites of other nerve cell is called as synapse, where information will be passed on to the next nerve cells. So this is the brief explanation of nerve cell. If you want a detailed explanation of nerve cell, a video is available in my playlist, that is coordination, old syllabus. So I will provide you link in end cards and also in comment section. Please go through it if you want a detailed explanation. Okay, then we will continue our topic. So we are talking about nervous system now. So nervous system contains these cells, and these cells help in taking stimulus from outside and giving responses. Okay, these nerve cells will take stimuli from outside, and they will help in giving responses also. So we are going to explain this by using an example. Okay, example is touching a hot object. So when we touch a hot object, what will happen? Our hand will get burnt. So we will immediately withdraw our hand from it. So this is an action, and our action is action. Touching a hot object is an action, and withdrawing our hand from it is our response. So what happens during this process? How this action or stimulus enters into our body and how response is produced in our body, we are going to learn now. Okay, actually our body contains some receptors cells which receives stimulus from outside are called as receptors. These receptors are present in our sense organs. We have 5 sense organs now: eyes, ears, nose, tongue and skin. So all these sense organs contains some special cells which can receive stimulus from outside, and these receptors contains nerve cells no. So the information, the stimulus from outside will be first entering into the nerve cell, that too first entering into the dendrites of the nerve cells. Dendrites of the nerve cells first receive the stimulus from outside through receptor cells. Here the stimulus is touching a hot object. Okay, that information is first carried out by the dendrites of the nerve cells, then they pass the information to first they will carry the information in the form of chemical signals. Actually, they receive information in the form of chemical signals, then after they will pass these signals to cytone. So here in the cytone, that chemical signal will transform into electrical impulse, just like current in the electrical wise. So just like that, electrical impulse is present in our nerve cells. So here what happens, the chemical signal, that means touching a hot object, that chemical signal is transformed into an electrical impulse. That electrical impulse will pass on to the axon. Already I said no, to prevent the leakage of information, axon is covered with the myelin sheath. So this electrical impulse, that means touching a hot object, that information is passing through this axon in the form of electrical impulse and enters into this nerve terminals. Then here that means here synapse is there, no connection between two neurons, two nerve cells. So here in the synapse what happens is the electrical impulse again converts into chemical signal, and that chemical signal will pass on to the next nerve cell through the dendrites of that nerve cell. Okay, do you understand? Electrical impulse is passing through the axon and enters into nerve terminals. Here it is again turning into chemical signal and passes on to the next nerve cell through the synapse, that too through the dendrites of that second nerve cell. So likewise the information will be passed on to the next nerve cells also. Finally it reaches the target organ, that is brain or spinal cord. Why? Because brain and spinal cord are the two organs in our body which can make decisions. Okay, which can make decisions. So here touching a hot object is an urgent and dangerous situation. It is a dangerous situation. Here we have to respond immediately. So that type of actions which need immediate response will uh, be taken by spinal cord. Those decisions will be taken by spinal cord. So this information will be passed on to spinal cord. Spinal cord will detect this information and they will analyze it, and finally they will produce a response. The response is immediately you have to withdraw your hand from the hot object, otherwise your hand will burn. So this is the response will be given by spinal cord. Again same procedure takes place here. From the spinal cord the information, that means the response is taken over by dendrites. From dendrites to cyton to axon to next nerve cells. Likewise the response is passed on to next nerve cells and finally reaches the target organ. Here the target organ is the hand which we put on the hot object. Okay, so by passing on this information, finally the hand receives that response and immediately we will withdraw our hand. So this is what happens in our nervous system. So this is how information will be passed on through these nerve cells. Okay, did you understand? So by taking an example, we explained how information will be passed on through our nerve cells. So whatever the information may be, that information will get turned into electrical impulse and pass on through these nerve cells only. They will pass the information either to brain or to spinal cord. Immediate response, if we need immediate response, those informations will be passed on to spinal cord. Other informations, main informations will be passed on to brain. Okay, here we have to identify the parts of a nerve cell. So here the part of the nerve cell which acquires the information is dendrite. Okay, and part of the nerve cell through which information is passed in the form of electrical impulse is axon. And the part of the nerve cell where chemical signals are produced for onward transmission is these are nerve terminals. That is here synapse. So these are the three parts. Okay, next one activity was given. No, if we are suffering from cold, we cannot enjoy the taste of the food material, isn't it? If we close our nose and if we put sugar in our mouth, we cannot detect the taste of the sugar also. Same happens when we are suffering from cold also. If we are suffering from cold, we cannot enjoy the taste of the food material. Why? Actually the nerve cells in nose and nerve cells in tongue are different. No, smell based informations will be taken over by olfactory nerves in case of our nose. Taste based informations will be taken over by gustatory nerves present in our tongue. But when we are suffering from cold, both taste and smell will get affected. Why? Because taste and smell both are closely entwined with each other. Those two informations are closely entwined with each other. That means that's why if smell is affected, definitely taste will also get affected. Okay, usually we will experience it in our daily life also when we are suffering from cold. So that is our topic today. So in our video, we have learnt about introduction of our topic, that is control and coordination, and we have learnt about nervous system in case of animals. Especially, we have seen the structure of nerve cell and how information will be passed on through it. So in our next video, we are going to learn about the reflex actions. So what are reflex actions? How they'll takes place? We are going to learn about them in our next video. Okay, that's about our video. Hope you understand this topic. If you have any doubts, please ask me in comment section. I will clarify your doubts, and the structure of nerve cell link I will provide it in end cards and comment section also. Please go and watch it for detailed explanation. Okay, if you understand this video, please like this video and share this video with your friends. Thank you so much for watching. Jai Hind.